Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, by Shem Rakah Kodash, Barakathum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to Ya'akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Raya with another video, and we're about halfway through 2019, and it's been a very interesting year so far. Things are heating up more and more out here with each passing day. And these major prophecies are getting closer and closer to coming to their fulfillment. You've had historic flooding, storms, and tornadoes going on all across the country, ravaging U.S. farmers' lands, causing them not to be able to plant a sufficient amount of crops, which is going to lead to a coming food crisis. You've got YouTube planning on terminating thousands of channels and hours of content for so-called hate speech and discrimination, which we know is targeted at the men of the Lord, chiefly GMS, a great millstone to bring about that famine of the word. Brothers are already talking about how some of their videos have been taken down, and all that goes to show is that these elites out here are scared. They can see that these prophecies are beginning to come to their fulfillment, so they're trying to do anything they can to stop that from happening, even though it's too late. By you Edomites bringing about this famine of the word, you're only fulfilling prophecy. But on top of all this, 2019's been deemed the year of the Charagma, or the year Esau really pushes for the microchip implant, which is the mark of the beast. And you've got information coming out constantly on facial recognition and biometrics technology, which we know is just a stepping stone towards the microchip implant. But I'll be reading from this article on activistpost.com titled, "Hackers Stole Facial Recognition Data of U.S. Airport Travelers," and this is all by design. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, "Lest Satan, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, that red Hebrew Edomite, should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And if the spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is dealing with you, you're not ignorant of Satan's devices." Because this facial recognition and biometrics technology was designed to be inherently flawed and allowed to be hacked, so people's information and identities would get stolen and sold on the dark web or the black market, and these people would start crying for a more efficient and safe alternative, which Esau Edom would conveniently come with, that alternative being the microchip implant. And you already have cases of these biometric databases getting hacked all across the planet, but now it's just starting to come to the U.S. because Esau Edom's about to come down in great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time to fulfill his great enterprise to cement his new world order predicated on this microchip implant. And I'll show you some information from an article also on activistpost.com that I've used in previous videos dealing with the mark of the beast, titled "Year in Review, Airport Surveillance Takes Off in a New Dangerous Direction." I'm going to go to about right here. "It's unprecedented for the government to collect, store, and share this kind of data with this level of detail, with this many agencies and private partners, and the risk to all of us is real. India's Aadhaar biometric database, built to reduce corruption and expanded for use by other public and private groups, keeps getting hacked, Salakia. It is not only cheap to buy the information of one of the 1.19 billion people in the database, but the hacks also allow for new information to be entered into the database. Rather than increasing security, India's biometric database created more problems and opportunities for corruption. Again, all by design. What you have to remember is that the political and financial elites of these different countries rub shoulders with the elites of these Edomites, such as the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, and are on board for the New World Order. They think they're going to have a part in it, so they allow these elites to test their technology in their countries to get all the kinks out of the system before they bring it to the U.S. and really drop the hammer. One of the key fears that critics of mass surveillance and the proliferation of facial recognition technology have warned about has been realized with new reporting Monday that a malicious cyber attack false flag has resulted in photos of airport passengers and other personal data harvested by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol being stolen by unknown actors. According to the Washington Post, Customs officials said in a statement Monday that the images, which include photos of people's license plates, had been compromised as part of an attack on a federal subcontractor. The agency maintained a database including passport and visa photos that is used at airports as part of an agency facial recognition program. CBP declined to say what images were stolen or how many people were affected, but CBP makes extensive use of cameras and video recordings at the arrival halls of international airports as well as land border crossings, where vehicle license plates are also captured. A CBP statement said none of the image data had been identified on the dark web or internet, but the reporters at the Register, a British technology news site, reported late last month that a large haul of breached data from the firm Perceptics was being offered as a free download on the dark web. The CBP apparently did not want to confirm which private subcontractors was the target of the attack, but the Post and others were able to track down that it likely was Perceptics. A CBP statement said none of the image data had been identified on the dark web or internet, as is just repeating the same thing. This is a bombshell, said Evan Greer, deputy director of the advocacy group Fight for the Future, in response to the reporting. Even if you 100% trust the U.S. government with your biometric information, which you shouldn't, this is a reminder that once your face is scanned and stored in a database, it's easily shared across government agencies, stolen by hackers, other governments, etc. BuzzFeed, also among the first to report on the breach on Monday, noted that the cyber attack comes amid the ongoing rollout of CBP's biometric entry-exit system, the government initiative to biometrically verify the identities of all travelers crossing U.S. borders. Hey, he calls it all, both small and great. As BuzzFeed News reported, citing earlier reporting, BuzzFeed pointed out that CBP is scrambling to implement the initiative with the goal of using facial recognition technology on 100% of all international passengers, including American citizens, in the top 20 U.S. airports by 2021, and expect to hear more news about facial recognition and biometric databases getting hacked, because Esau Edom's about to push this chip out there in full force. He's putting all the pieces together to do so, and it's going to be easy because they already have this facial recognition and biometric technology out there. So when they bring out the chip, they're just going to convert it over to a chip application. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, that he being the elites of the Edomites, again, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Mellons, what have you, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, that charagma, that microchip implant, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And how does that facial recognition and biometrics technology usually work? You get a facial scan, or you get a fingerprint scan, usually on your right hand. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, or use an airplane to travel, or get a job, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So to you brothers and sisters out there, we're getting closer and closer to this devil coming down in great wrath to fully implement his new world order. And at this point, you should know not to take this microchip implant if you're in this truth, because if you do, that's going to void your chance at salvation, and it's only going to cause you to have a very painful death. And I'm going to close it out with Revelation chapter 14. I'm going to read verse 9 through 10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, this being Esau Edom's political, financial, and military infrastructure, that NATO EU alliance, which the US is a part of NATO, and receive his mark, that microchip implant, in his forehead or in his hand, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus Christ. So to any of you Israelites out there that do take the mark of the beast microchip implant, you're going to get hit with one of those 200 million nuclear missiles or laser beams from the chariot of the Most High, which people ignorantly refer to as so-called UFOs, that are going to hit the United States, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, turning it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea. So again, to you sincere brothers and sisters out there, don't take the microchip implant, no matter whatever horrors come your way during Jacob's trouble, because it's not worth losing your chance at salvation and being the first fruits of the kingdom. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim out there were edified. And as always, I'm going to say Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Till next time, Shalom.